Yeah.
Okay, this is not about Joe Biden's inauguration speech. It just came up in my mind because of that. I heard a lot of people commenting on it, people who did watch it, talking about being inspired. It was an inspiring speech. It was, it called for hope and a lot of cool stuff. And I just got to thinking, has anybody ever truly actually been inspired by a speech? Can you think of anybody who has inspired you, and how have they inspired you? Because speeches, we may feel like, oh, that was a great speech, but I mean, is it really enough to make you go out and try to change the world? I think you need different kind of inspiration for that. So, Manolis, I'm going to look to you first. Who have you been inspired by, and how did they inspire you?
I remember I was like 15, 16 years old, and I bought a Van Halen album. Like, it was an interview album. It was like a collector's item. It was like 2,500 copies were made. I still have it. It's just it's like the album's got a picture on it. So the more you listen to it, the more the picture comes off of it. So it's like it's an interview with David Lee Roth. It was before 1984, and he's talking about, the interview asked him something about being on stage. And it's like, apparently a lot of bands talk about being inspired by the audience for that spark. And David Lee Roth says, like, well, listen, he goes, I don't got no time for no effing spark. You're going to have to catch up to me. And I was like, I wasn't even like, I was like 15, or I think I was 15 years old at the time, 14. And I'm like, I just remember it just burned in my brain. I'm like, I just like that concept, that attitude's like, it's like, he's like I'm gonna do what I do, and if you guys dig this, you're gonna come along for a ride. If you're not, you're gonna have to catch up, dude, because I'm here to party, you know. And that was very inspiring. I wasn't even thinking about doing stand up, and then like when I started doing stand up, it's one of those things that's always in my subconscious where I'm like, these people are here to have fun, but if they're not digging what I'm doing, I'm gonna keep having fun, and they're gonna have to catch up to what I'm doing then.
That's a really cool way to look at it. I love that idea that you're there, you're performing, and as opposed to going out and hoping that you'll get some resonance from them, and then that will lift you up. You're like going, no, I'm going out 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, it's like, you know, because like a comic will be, I relate to comedy in the sense of like my confidence will be out of your laughter. If I'm not getting the laughs, then I'm not feeling confident. Well, like I'm not getting laughs. Well, I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with you, but I know this is good. So you better figure it out, because I'm gonna, and I'm just, it's always there. It's probably the number one thing that I think about before I go on stage.
That's very cool, man. I did not expect an answer that would impress me.
I love David Lee Roth.